This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Potsy and Tino on the Potsy and Tino Show.
It's the Potsy and Tino Show. Drop the facts and let opinions flow. Laughs, hot takes, and maybe a rant. Two best buds with a mic and a plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Pots and Pans Network brings to you its tag team champions of the world, the Road Dogg Tino Gray, the badass Rob Potsy Podchak. That's right, the Potsy and Tino Show. Tino, this week, we always start with what's up with you. So I'm going to get into that in just a second, but I was just thinking, like with all the enhancements with AI at this point, I almost feel like I could probably take our theme song and have wrestlers singing it.
That would be interesting. That would be funny, actually.
It would, but it would definitely be illegal. I'm pretty sure. So.
Yeah, we got in trouble last week.
Yeah, we did. And I want to let you know it didn't affect our views. So, I don't know what country wasn't allowed to show our video, but us showing the segment of Brock and Oba last week apparently went longer than WWE allows. So, so Tino, what, my friend, is up with you?
Had a good week last week. Went to Hickory, DJ'd, got to sit in with the bassist from Cheryl Soul Crow, which was absolutely fucking phenomenal. He is such a cool, laid back guy, and then he fit in. It was two acoustics and a bass, and I actually got to put a guitar down. So the guitarist I played with, it was acoustic, and then dude was playing his bass, and then he was also doing harmony. It was fucking phenomenal. So whenever he's in town again, we might do it, not every time I'm there, but whenever if we're both in town again at the same time. The bar owner was like cool with it, and so we'll get to do that again. So I'm highly excited about that. Easter's coming up, so we got Good Friday off. Father-in-law comes back in town, so Sunday we'll probably be doing Easter dinner, and then Monday we'll be doing. Next Monday I won't be here. We're doing Nicole's birthday, so we'll be doing birthday with the boss and whatever she wants to do, and that's how we'll go from there.
I hear you. Obviously, next week Tino will not be with us because it is Nicole's birthday on Monday.
Yes, so she will not be happy.
So keep an eye on. So anybody out there, keep an eye on the Facebook page this week, because if for whatever reason I am not going to do a show, I will let everybody know. But I would expect that I will, so we can keep with our timing and dating of episode 450 being the week after that, and obviously the week before Mania, so that we can make it our extra special prediction show, because we've got 2 nights of Mania this year. Nothing really going on with me. I noticed this week that Sony announced that they're raising the prices of PlayStation 5s.
What? I didn't see that.
Yeah, so right now, to get a PS5 without disk drive, it's $500.
Starting, that's what it was before, right?
Well, it was $500 for the one with the disk drive when they first came out.
Yeah, that's what I paid. Are you saying without the disk drive is $500
right now? So hold on, it's $550 for the one with the disk drive, and then if you want the PlayStation Pro, the PS5 Pro, it's $750 right now.
Which one's the Pro?
It's the more powerful system that they came out with. Like they did with the PS4, where they had the PS4 Pro after a while.
Yeah, I don't remember if I had the Pro. I think I just got the regular PS5. Like I said, I don't know what the difference is. Is it really just?
Well, I had upgraded to the Pro a while ago, just because it was like my Christmas present to myself. But and I play games that. What's up?
You don't even play it now, do you? You still play it?
I've been playing the hell out of it the past couple of weeks with all the Resident Evil games I've been going back through. And then the Wolverine game's coming out this year, so I'm gonna be getting that. But anyways, so the 3 price points that they have today. Okay, so let's start with what they started at. Okay, so the original price points on PlayStation 5s were, I believe, $449 without a disc drive, $499 with a disc drive, and then they came out with a slim version, which was $449 and $499. And then they, with those, because of tariffs last year, they raised the prices of them.
Fuck tariffs.
So even though the technology is 6 years old at this point, because those systems came out in 2020, the new price currently, so this is what they are right now today, is $500 for the one without a disc drive, $549 for the one with a disc drive, and $749 for the Pro. Okay, when the Pro it was $699, they've gone up $50. Well, starting April 2nd, Sony has said that the pricing and the tariffs levied on them for their video game equipment, they have to raise the prices again. So now the pricing on PlayStation 5s is going to be the discless version for $549. I'm sorry, $599. It's going up $100.
They don't want to sell. They don't want to sell them.
That's what it sounded like. The one with the disc drive is going up to $699. And the I'm sorry, $649. And so $599, $649, and the Pro is going up $150 to $899.
Damn, I don't know. Hope my damn hope my PS5 don't go down because I can't afford a new one.
No shit, right? I mean, you're talking like a house payment now. So I just wanted to warn everybody about that. If you plan on making an upgrade, I would say do it tomorrow, because by April 2nd, those prices are going up, and every major retailer is going up in the price on them. Now, apparently there is a version that is like a Fortnite bundle that they came out with for the PS5s that they've had at $100 off for a while. So you can still get them as low as, like, I want to say $449 or something, or $399 right now, but not after Wednesday. It's
don't even get me started on gas.
Oh, is someone talking about gas?
Yeah, I'm talking about gas prices. Yeah, we're talking about shit going up. I was thinking about going to Hickory, right? So I had less, because I have the truck. It's a V6. So it was a little less than half a tank. It took me damn near $50 to get to full from half a tank. So, yeah. And
so I started putting 88 grade in my car because my car can run it, and it isn't. I've read that it's no better or worse for your car. So I've just decided, hell with it. I'm gonna start using that. And
that's more expensive, right?
What's that?
Isn't that more expensive? The 88's more expensive, right?
No. So I can only find it at Sheets, but when you find it, 88 grade, which sounds like it should be more expensive, is 50 cents less a gallon.
I thought 87 was the cheapest.
87 is the lowest grade gasoline. Doesn't mean
it's the lowest price.
No, the 88 octane, because nobody thinks that they can put it in their car, is the cheapest one I found. So I go with that like every time I go to fill up now. What sucks is there's all, like, because Sheets is the only place I can find it, they only have like 4 pumps with it, because they put like 2 pumps with like the methane gas or whatever, and 2 pumps, So every time I go to Sheets to go get this gas, there's always someone parked at that gas spot, but there's nobody in the car, and they're not filling their tank.
They wanted that they they pay somebody to park there.
Well, I mean, they might. I don't know, but it's 50 cents less a gallon. So the other day, I filled up on Saturday, I believe, and I paid like 3.22 a gallon, whereas it was 3.72 a gallon if you went with the 87.
So it's 10 cents cheaper.
No, 3.22, 50
Oh,
cents cheaper.
I'm going to look at that and see because
So what I've read is any car built after 2006 is supposed to be able to use it if it says that they take 87 grade. If you take premium or the really expensive one, it doesn't. You can't put that in there.
well, that truck's a 2010, so I wonder if I can put a damn.
Maybe. I mean, saving 50 cents a gallon is considerable. But I did notice that gas prices actually came down a little bit this week because they had been as high as 3.89 for the 87 grade around here, and just this week, just about all those places were down to like 3.75.
Well, I think it happened on the weekends. It goes down because during the week, that this one in the corner, it goes up. Like right now, this weekend, I think it was like 3.69. It's at 3.99. It's damn near $4 now. But I think on the weekend, I think they drop it on the weekends. I don't know that old people are driving. I don't know, man. But that's going to cut back on a lot of traveling this summer.
Yeah. And I can't wait until we get those little stickers that say "I did this" and you see Trump's face. Like they did with Joe Biden back in the day.
They won't. But yeah, the gas, and there's something else I want. Oh, so I was on TikTok and this lady was like, "So be careful when you book American flights." So when you book so they because this has happened, you book American
on American Airlines.
Yes, they book
So
American
not just in America.
No, on the airline, the actual airline, American Airlines.
Okay.
And so when you have the connecting flights, and it still says airline, and it says flight and all this other stuff. So people get out there and they go to the tarmac. They're thinking they're getting on a plane. They have luxury buses. Now these are nice buses, but you're not getting on a plane. They put you on this luxury bus, and that's what they're doing now.
They're driving people. What if you're going cross country?
It said the connecting flight, so I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, so if you're going from like here to Charlotte to California, like they'll drive you to Charlotte. As long as I don't have to drive. Although like the point of that,
if you pay for a flight, your ticket says flight, and then you get out there and you get on the bus, I'd be mad.
Oh, I'd be mad too, and specifically, I'd be mad because like I'm paying for a flight, like you said. It's a little bit different if they said, okay, well, your connector is a train.
Yes.
Because I haven't been on a train before, and I kind of want to try it.
That's what Nicole said. She's gonna when she goes to New York this year, she's gonna
book a train.
Flying, she might take the train just to see, because she says she can take the train into like Penn Station and then get on the LI, and then somebody just pick her up from the train station on Long Island.
I mean, that's like up and down the East Coast. I don't see any reason why taking a plane is the best option anymore. Like taking the train actually sounds like a better option to me, because they let you bring 2 carry-on bags and other shit with you. So,
and I was like, would you take and I was asking her, would you do the sleeper car? She said probably, because it's probably like a 12-hour. So she probably wouldn't do a sleeper car.
Depends on what time. If you're doing like a 5 a.m. to 5 p.m., you might not. But if you're doing like 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., absolutely take a sleeper car.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's weird to me. I don't know what I would do.
Yeah. It's new to me. So. But I've been thinking about doing it for like if I were to do like New York Comic-Con or something in like the Birmingham area, because like a train ride to Birmingham, I think they say is 12 hours, but it takes it takes 9 hours to drive there. So like me not having to drive, I'd totally be cool sitting in a train and not having to actually have my hands on the wheel.
Yeah, but like I said, I'll be cool with it too. But like I said, if I'm paying for a plane,
Absolutely, you're 100%
and then
without.
I get out to the tarmac, and you got a fucking bus waiting on me.
When the fuck did they start this?
I don't know. I'm trying to find that TikTok to send it to you, but yeah, it is. I was like, I would be so. Oh, yeah, the flights are actually bus routes. Yeah, this is what it is. I just sent this to TikTok. You watch it later, but it's just, I'd be so mad.
Oh, I absolutely. I mean, because you're paying for it. If they said, "Oh, because you're taking the bus, it's only $22 or whatever." Well,
Yeah. If you discount my ticket and give me some money back.
yeah. No, I agree with you on that. That's weird. So other stuff I've been doing recently, I've been trying to do a little bit more drawing. I've got obviously those comic books that I got to get written, so I'm going to be doing that over the next couple of weeks. Talking to the publisher today about like what kind of panels we're going to try to get them to approve for San Diego and everything. So that's kind of cool. But otherwise, you just asked if I've been video gaming, and yeah, I've been gaming a lot recently.
And Michael asked, we played the 26 WWE. I hadn't played that yet either.
I have not, but I sent you a couple of videos of the ragdoll physics where they're taking them and dropping them off of like cranes and stuff and watching them just flip around. No, I haven't played that one. In fact, I got asked today because I traded some stuff in so that I could get some store credit for the next, for like the Wolverine game and whatever. And I was like, the guy behind the counter, because I traded in 22 and 23. He's like, "Did you pick up 26?" And I was like, "No, I don't normally pick those up unless like you say, 'Are you getting it?'" And then it's like, okay. And then we play it like 3 times, and then you play it, but I'll sit there and play it like 3 times, and then I'll be done. So no, but I've been really hooked on the remakes of the Resident Evil series. So I bought Resident Evil 9 because 7, 8, and 9 have been excellent. And I was like, well, I know they remade 2, 3, and 4 in the same engine and everything that they made 7, 8, and 9 in. So I was like, I'll try those out. And then I realized I already owned 2 of them because with either my Xbox, because Game Pass, you basically get them included, or because PlayStation 1 month said, "Oh, your three PlayStation Plus games this month. One of them's Resident Evil 2." So I had Resident Evil 2 already. And like now what I'm trying to do with those games is beat them in the speed time stuff, because like they give you stuff like if you finish the game like that in 9, you have to finish it in 4 hours. Okay. Now my best so far has been about 7 hours.
Oh, damn.
So I'm gonna try to get through it in 4, which means instead of shooting everything like I always do, I'm gonna leave a lot of alive zombies because I'm just gonna be pushing them and running around them. And I'm gonna be looking at all these videos trying to figure out how to cut like 15 more minutes off, that kind of shit. So I've watched so much about the Resident Evil series recently. It's not even funny. Like Tubi has the animated, and when I say animated, it looks like the video games. They've got all of the animated movies on there, so you can actually watch the animated movies that they made about it. So I've been watching all of those. And it's wild to see that. Like, so Netflix has one, and it's 4 episodes, and you're basically playing as Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil 2, and now he works for the government or something, and he gets sent on this mission to stop one of the viruses. And it's got the same voice actor from the video game. It looks like the video game, so it's like, shit, I'll watch that. Like I play the video game, so why not? But I was talking a little bit about it last week that when you play through number 2, what I really like about those games is the first time you play it through, you can play as either Leon or Claire, and the game is different just because of who you play as. Okay, so like Leon starts inside the building, Claire starts outside the building, and the game is just completely different based on all that. When you finish the game the first time, it unlocks what they call second playthrough. Okay. And when you unlock that, it actually, so like when I played as Leon the first game, it opened up the second run for Claire. So not even her first run of the game, it was her second run. And then it unlocks, after I beat that, it unlocks Leon's second run. So there's different things. Like there's a police officer in the very first time that you play the game as Leon, and his name's Marvin. Well, when you play his second time through, Marvin's not there anymore because Marvin's already dead. You know, that kind of stuff. So it's pretty neat. And I was able to knock my playtime on number 2 from like 7 hours to 4 hours and 20 minutes. So I missed the 4 hour mark, but I did hit 4 hours 22 minutes. So I ended. They give you a score at the end of the game, and I got an A. So I didn't get an S like I wanted, but I got an A.
What's the S?
So that means I guess it means super. I don't know. But that's S is the best you can get. Then it's A, B, C, and I got A. So I was happy with that, but you know, got to go for those S's. Anyways, so that's mainly what I've been doing. Oh, and I was playing. I didn't even realize this came preloaded on a PlayStation 5, but I was playing the Astrobot thing that they have for it, and
how do you preload it?
Well, it was already on the hard drive.
Oh, did you get a new one?
No.
I don't know if
no, but I hadn't. I went through my games and I was looking at what I actually had installed. I was like, oh, Astrobot, okay. And it's a game that fully utilizes everything on the controller. So all of a sudden, it's like it's got me in this little like rocket ship, and you got to use your triggers to sit there and fire off the 2 rockets, right?
Right.
But I didn't realize I had to turn the controller to get him to go left and right while he was in the rocket ship.
Oh, so it's got motion. That's right. On the controller, it does have that gyro motion thing.
And I mean, when I say it uses everything, the controller on the PlayStation 5 also has a microphone on it. So at certain points, it makes you blow into it to spin a pinwheel to cause something else to happen.
Oh, damn.
And I'm like, holy shit. Like, why don't more games utilize this stuff? Like, imagine if you're playing a game like Resident Evil, right? And you walk up to a thing of candles, and what you're supposed to do is put out the candles, and you actually got to go, whew, you know, like Bray Wyatt style. It reminds me of the old Hideo Kojima games, the guy who created Metal Gear, and how like on the very first PlayStation way back in the day, Metal Gear Solid, you had to switch the controller port of your controller to be able to beat one of the bad guys, because otherwise he could read your mind.
I forgot about that.
That shit was genius, man. Yeah. And you know that, like, while the guy is creating the game, he's sitting there going, how can I fuck with people?
That's the best kind.
So I'll tell you, one of the times I played through Resident Evil 9 was because I wanted to finish what they call the final puzzle. Okay? This puzzle, pardon me, you have to play through the game fully once, and then in your second playthrough, have done certain things the first time through so that you can finish the puzzle in your second time through. The only way that people found out about this was because they did what they call data mining the video game. So they took like a PC copy of the game and they stripped it down to its code to figure out how to finish this puzzle. So nobody was even able to figure out the puzzle until they data mined it. Did you ever play Destiny? The video game.
It doesn't sound familiar.
The one where like 3 people would be. It was kind of like it was made by the guys who did Halo, but it was like you have three different players that could go through different missions and whatever, and then
I never played it. I know what you're talking about. I do know what you're talking about. I've never played that game.
So they used to have raids for this game, and the raids were like max difficulty, crazy hard, like almost like me. I would never be able to figure them out for myself, but like it would be where all of a sudden you're in a completely dark room, and you got to make sure that you push down for 5 seconds so that you back up against the wall, and then press left so that you completely go down this thing until you finally see a spark of light and know that you're out of whatever it is. It was, and then you would get to like, oh, well, now to kill this guy, you've got to make sure that that candle is lit and this thing is going off. And then finally, like 2 of your other players can be firing off at it. And it's like, how would you even know to do that? And then people just, that's what they would do. They would figure that out by ripping the programming apart so that they could go, oh, this is how you do it. And it's like, that's no fun.
No.
But I did finish the final puzzle. I did. Dude, it required me flushing a toilet in the game 8 times. Yeah. Why? I don't know. Anyways, let's get on to some other stuff. I don't want to keep talking about all that. Weekly TV and movie watching, Tino. What have you seen? I've seen a movie, and I want to go ahead and tell everybody that I highly recommend it. And I finally finished His and Hers.
Finally, after months.
That's been like a month. It's been like a month.
It's longer than that. Were you expecting that ending?
If I told you yes, would you be mad at me?
You'd be lying.
Okay, so has the statute of limitations on the show been exceeded by now? It's been out since like January.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So I knew something was up with the mom. I just didn't know what. And I didn't think any of the people that were being set up to be the killers were the killers. So I'll say this. I didn't know who the killer was, but I didn't think it's the one that the police officer shot in the head at the end.
No.
And I didn't think it's the guy that played Master Chief on the Halo show.
Because at first I thought it might be the no. The news anchor, because when it came back and then she died and then she lost weight and I said, oh shit. And then I was like, no. Then the husband was going crazy. I'm like, no. I was like, and then I thought it was going to be the head mistress lady, but like, nah. So it kept me going, nah. I never would have thought it's the mom though. Never ever.
So it was a trick ending, and it was surprising. But I don't know if it was surprising in the best possible way. Because the mom wasn't a big character in the show.
That was the whole point. That's why I think it was so surprising. Because she wasn't that big of a character. She had dementia. So she's here. You're not thinking about her. That's why.
What was in the eggs?
When
she made eggs, what was in the eggs?
The fucking shells. She just put the whole
shells. Because
she cracked the eggs, but put everything in the pan. She didn't throw the eggshells away. She just broke the eggs and left them in the pan. And then she gave that chick water. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Is hot water. That shit had me rolling. I'm like, okay.
And then at the end, they're just staring at each other.
Yeah, because she realized that the chick was reading the note, and then she's looking like, you crazy bitch. She's looking at her mom like, and then she smiles. I'm like, but she killed your sister-in-law. She killed her husband's sister. And you're gonna be like, oh, okay.
And see that's the part where I knew for a fact that it wasn't any of the 4 characters that they had been leading on were most likely the killers, because they were all preoccupied in that moment.
They definitely, and but like you said, they didn't. I think they played that perfectly, and I think that's why they did it like that. The mom wasn't in it a whole lot, every once when she come in, and mom was crazy, mom was out there. So that's why that twist came in at the end, and you were like, the fuck. Me and Nicole were like,
What? To me, it kind of made me think, like, again, I was already to the point where I was like, it wasn't any of the 4 characters that they were leading on were the killers. I knew it. But I was like, they're just going to drop something on us here. And they did. And I was like, huh? But then again, there are times where I sit there and I go, wouldn't it be cool if in a movie the good guy doesn't win? And then it's like, no, that sucks. Like, unless there is a sequel coming, you don't want the cliffhanger, the bad guy won.
Yeah. Well, speaking of cliffhangers, they canceled our show. You sent me that.
I was going to put up an RIP for it, but I thought that'd be in bad taste after last week. We had 3 people pass away that we talked about.
So Tracker, watch Tracker.
Tracker's coming back for another year, and what's his name is now going to be a full-time character.
Bobby's cousin, what's his name?
I don't remember now.
God, I know you.
Randy.
Yeah. Randy. I still don't trust that assistant chick.
I think we're going to find that out by the end of the season.
Because she's just too. And I don't trust the new chick that they're working for either. The blonde chick that just hired them.
Well, that one, like, she doesn't even sound like she trusts herself.
She's shady as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
like,
trying. I bet she's going to be somehow involved with how what's her face watched the person get murdered at gunpoint and thought it was going to be her. I bet
flashbacks. Yeah.
I bet the one that she's working for now is going to somehow be involved with that, or the young chick's going to be involved with that.
No, the young chick is probably related to somebody, and this is her. They always do that. It was my sister, it's boyfriend's cousin, and you had him dead, and I had plastic surgery, and I changed my name.
I will say that in his and hers, with the reveal that the one girl was actually the girl that she went to high school with, that had taken her job and everything, I was like, that's cold. And no way she would be that woman.
And she knew who she knew who the other chick was, but the other chick didn't know who she was. I'm like, yeah, that's cold. That's cold-blooded.
Yeah.
That's cold-blooded.
Yeah, it took until she saw the pictures and she's like, wait a second.
Yep.
So Tracker kept up with it, dude. I once again, Tracker this week did what it always does. They had that moment where he straight up to the dome shot someone in the head. Like,
okay, I might still be behind.
Did you not watch the episode with Chris Jericho?
Oh, okay, yeah, that was Chris. And the dude from Arrow. Wasn't that a black dude from Arrow?
Yes.
Dude,
I told you it was going to be a DC Universe reunion, because also Erica Durant, the female, the one that played Diggle's girlfriend in the show this week, was Lois Lane on Smallville.
Damn it, that's right. I kept looking at her. Okay.
In fact, I immediately went to Google when I saw her because I was like, she's looking a little bit older. which is fine. You know, I mean, like she looks
Bill was 20 years ago, dude.
I know, but I watch Scrubs and I go, Turk and Carla still look exactly the same.
They had plastic surgery.
Actually, I just think that one of them's black, one of them's Mexican, so they just maintain their looks if they maintain their looks. But during that episode, Coulter straight up in the face murders somebody. Now, did he have an automatic weapon on him? Yes. But when he turned that corner and just straight through the head, like I was like, no way he's not being detained tonight.
He went
and there he was.
He went and saw Diggle, got his check, and he left. You guys take care of each other. I'm like, bitch. How about you take care of some police business and answer some questions? God.
Like, I don't know how he doesn't.
That's gonna be a black star on Tracker, because I guarantee if Tracker was black, he shot somebody in the head. They'd be, let me talk to you for a minute. Don't get in that truck yet. Come on the station.
It's like when you watch The Equalizer, you know, that's like the unbelievable thing with the Denzel Washington ones. You know, it's like you know that if there was a police officer actually checking on the case, it'd be like, sir, we're gonna need you to come downtown.
Let me holler at you for a second.
Like I've watched all the John Wick movies, and in the John Wick films, John Wick is standing at his doorway with dead bodies behind him, and Jimmy the cop comes up, and Jimmy goes, "Working again, John?" And he goes, "Trying to sort some things out, Jimmy." And he goes, "All right, well, you have a good night then." And it's like, you know, if that was Denzel Washington in that moment,
that was John, or Juan. Let me holler at you for a second.
We're going to need you to come with us.
Put these on for a second.
Although I will admit, my favorite character, I think, in all of the John Wick films, besides John Wick himself, is the character that Common played in John Wick 2.
Oh yeah,
he was so good. And then they got into the fight, and John left him alive.
I like the Pigeon King.
Oh yeah, Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah. You know, I don't think there's a black character in those movies I don't dislike, or I don't.
And then the I guess the dude that runs the behind the counter, the concierge.
Yeah, Lance Reddick.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he passed away, but
yeah,
I thought that was so weird. So John Wick 4, when it came out, like he dies like 10 minutes into the movie. Sorry, folks, if you haven't seen it, too late. He dies like 10 minutes into the movie, but in real life, he had died like 4 days before the movie came out.
Foreshadowing. Also, well, I don't know if you guys watch NCIS. I watch NCIS. They had their 500th episode, so they wanted to do something big. They killed off a lead character.
Was it the goofy looking guy?
No, it was no. Well,
was it Wilmer Valderrama?
No, it's a main character. He's a lead. He's in every show, but he's not like part of the core team. Director Vance.
Oh, the guy that played the dad Brady on the Brady Bunch movies.
No, not him. The black dude, Director Vance.
See, I don't watch NCIS.
Yeah, they killed him.
Too many episodes.
They didn't kill him.
Another show with too damn many episodes.
Yep. Oh, dude, I love this show. You fucking watch Dexter. Fucking 15, 25 seasons. No, too many episodes.
Dexter only had 8 seasons, and they were 12 episodes or 15 episodes each.
Fucking damn Scrubs that won't die. You still watching that shit?
Shut up. Well, no, it's just because it's one of those shows where like I didn't get into it when it started, and I know I have to start it all over. Like I got back into watching all the Law and Orders, right? Well, I went on Peacock, sitting there going, how many seasons can I look back on Law and Order? You can watch like seasons 1 through like 10, and then you get the latest season. So somewhere in there, seasons 11 through 24 aren't on Peacock.
For shits and giggles, I can remember if it was Hulu or Netflix. I think it's Hulu. that has a Grey's Anatomy. I'm like, I just want to see.
That's
They got Grey's Anatomy. They have them all, and that shit. Like I was watching TV, like normal TV, and they were like showing an episode for Grey's Anatomy. And I'm like, damn, the Miranda Bailey, she looks pretty much the same. I'm like, but damn, Meredith Grey, I'm like, that bitch got old. Oh my god, damn.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I watch Scrubs. They bring it back after 15 years off the air, and the two white characters are old as shit, and yet the black and Mexican character still looking as young as possible.
Black don't crack. I don't know about Hispanics, but I know black don't crack.
Well, you know, I'm saying all this, and I always joke that I still don't have any gray hair on top of my head. But man, if I don't have whites in my beard,
you don't have any gray hair, but you about to lose. You just need to dude.
I was like that for years, and I was like, you know what, fucking, I'm gonna grow hair. So I did watch a movie this week. I watched Project Hail Mary with Ryan Gosling.
Oh, you're saying you want to see that? Nicole wants to see that too, so we'll probably don't spoil it because she's probably going to watch it with it.
It is excellent, and I want to point out something. Watching it, if you've seen commercials for it, right? So you know he makes a friend in space. I thought it was all CGI. Come to find out, it was puppeteering.
Nice.
And I was shocked to find that out. I'm sure there are moments where there's CGI being used with the Rocky character, but yeah, the movie's excellent. Go see it. See it in the biggest screen possible. It's one of those films where like visually you kind of want to see it on as big of a screen as possible. So,
all right,
Tino, let's talk about the WWE Hall of Famers that have been announced so far.
I'm not feeling the Hall of Fame this year.
So I'll say this. So far, from what I've heard, we have, and here are the included members so far. Stephanie McMahon as your headliner, which I think is an insult to number 2, AJ Styles.
She's the fucking boss.
What's that?
She's the fucking boss.
That's true. Demolition. Long time coming on that one, if you ask me. Because obviously they were the WWE's Road Warriors. Never as good as the Road Warriors, but they were definitely the WWE's Road Warriors.
Mm-hmm. Bad News Brown.
Bad News Brown got announced this week. So did Sid. So Psycho Sid. And their celebrity.
He wasn't even in WWE. How the fuck did that happen?
Dude.
Because they bought WCW?
Yeah. Exactly. And let's be honest, it's one of the so okay, who he's talking about, folks, is Dennis Rodman. And I'm going to say this. You know that Dennis Rodman made such an impact on pro wrestling at the time that he actually was in it. And you know this because if you ever watch the documentary about the Chicago Bulls, the Last Dance that they did on ESPN and one of the other channels, maybe HBO was the other one involved with it. When they did that, there was almost a whole episode spent on when Dennis Rodman went missing from the Chicago Bulls so that he could be hanging out with his buddy Hulk Hogan on Monday Nitro.
I guess, but like I said, I'm not
well,
feeling the
okay. Here's why I think the Dennis Rodman experiment was so successful and why he deserves a spot in the WWE Hall of Fame.
The class in general. I'm not
sure. But this is why I think Dennis Rodman deserves it. Because while they had used celebrities before that, they never quite clicked with what the moment was that they were really trying to do until Dennis Rodman, the bad boy of the National Basketball Association, went NWO. Like if Dennis Rodman had joined Diamond Dallas Page like Karl Malone did, it wouldn't have been nearly as big of a deal. But it's because he was already the bad boy and he was hanging out with the Hulkster when he was the bad boy that it worked. And then Rodman worked multiple matches for them. You know? Like it paved the path for your Bad Bunnies, your Logan Pauls,
It
your
makes
Tyson
sense.
Furies. What's up?
It makes. I guess it makes sense. But then, what about Shaq? Is Shaq in there yet?
No, but you just gave a good idea of who they might use next. Shaq Diesel want to be in WWE Hall of Fame. And so far, I think that's your Hall of Fame class. Bad News Brown, highly deserving. Sid, highly deserving, if you ask me.
Yes, but they don't have anybody. Usually, they have that. They have that one that pops. And I'm not disrespecting AJ's style, but it's not like you know.
Well, no. I think they want Stephanie McMahon to be that person. She's the headliner.
I don't think that's
should they have gone John Cena this year? Probably.
Yes, or Ray, or something like that.
Ray's already in.
Not Ray. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Cena.
Cena would have been your best. Cena or The Rock would have been your two biggest that aren't in there.
The Rock's not in there?
Nope. He inducted his dad and his grandfather, but he's not in there.
That's one. Yeah. So I just something's. Michael Turner said, "Who the hell is next? Jelly Roll? Probably."
I mean, you got to think that like when they do the celebrity one, it's to try to get a pop out of the pop culture audience, right? But I thought Rodman was a good one. Like I said, the biggest name in wrestling here that's going into the Hall of Fame this year, obviously, is AJ Styles, and probably the most deserving in a long time for who they're putting in. You know, you're talking about a guy who worked for WCW in its final days, was a TNA original who was there for 10 years, went to New Japan, carved his way there before finally making his way to WWE. And
I don't think he is with WCW when it
was. He was. Go ahead and take a look. Him and Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels, and a guy by the name of Michael Modest.
I thought he was already in TNA by the time they did the
TNA wasn't around until WCW closed.
WCW closed in 2000. TNA was already doing those $10 pay-per-views in 2000. Yes, sir. TNA.
I think it's 2004.
All right, I'll look it up.
That's fine. But he did work for WCW. He did work for TNA. He did work for New Japan. And he worked, obviously, his last 10 years of his career with WWE, where he became a two-time world champion, multi-time U.S. champion, probably an intercontinental champion, and obviously a tag team champion. So
2002. So
we're both wrong. But WCW had closed by then.
Okay.
So
wow.
I know, right? I know. Speaking of one John Cena, it was announced earlier today, Tino, that he is the host of WrestleMania this year. And it immediately got the people talking on the radio saying, we knew he'd be back. And I'm sitting there going, guys, didn't you listen to his interviews with Cody Rhodes and Chris Van Vliet, where he said he just signed a new 5-year deal with the WWE, and they just got to figure out what they're going to do with him? Like, who didn't know that John Cena was going to be the host of WrestleMania this year?
I think he's going to end up being like a backstage producer at some point or something like that too.
I don't think he'll do that, but I think he's basically being paid to never say anything bad about the company.
You think he would?
And no, but doing events like this too, I think is definitely part of his 5-year contract that he signed. But good on him. You know, he made the statement on his Twitter and Instagram. And I mean, honestly, like, who else would they have? The Miz and Danhausen, which would be funny, but yeah. So all right, ready to get into Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. The fuck? Man,
What?
Bleacher Report on my PC is acting up. The match card for the night: CM Punk and Roman Reigns under the same roof.
Time out. You had that same problem last week when we first tried to start watching, and it started off with Bellion, but then we were confused. Remember?
Let's talk about that.
Something. What the fuck happened?
So obviously, last week we went long on the show, folks. We both got a little long-winded. Maybe I was more so. That's normally the case. But when we got off of here, we both started up Monday Night Raw, and it started with people walking to the ring.
It was Becky.
It feeling like, Becky walking to the ring, and it feeling like we missed something. Come to find out, we missed like 30 minutes.
And it was the Usos, like they'd been in a fight, and they were like thinking, they're talking shit. I'm like, did we miss something? And then they talked about that Oba kicked off the show, Open, and I'm like, the fuck happened? But yeah.
Tino calls me up, and he goes, did we miss something? And I'm like, I think so, because this just feels weird. Like, it feels like I should have been watching like the YouTube channel like an hour before they went on, if that's not the case. Nope. Netflix literally cut 30 minutes off the front end of it until it was over, and then you could restart it and watch from the beginning. I hope they don't do it again.
They've never done that before. I wonder. I'm hoping, like you said, it was a one-off. It was a glitch, because that would piss me off.
Yeah. So the match card or the show card for the night was Roman and Punk under the same roof, Becky Lynch cutting a promo, Brock Lesnar cutting a promo, the Usos versus Logan Paul and Austin Theory, Bayley and Lyra versus the Kabuki Warriors, Javon Evans versus Grayson Waller, and the Intercontinental Championship match of Penta versus Dominic Mysterio.
All right.
We start with Paul Heyman coming out and looking in much better shape than he did the week before.
He got rid of the pink eye. He probably put some Visine.
Yeah, he definitely got a steroid or something to put in the eye. Shaved, hair slicked back again, wearing a pinstripe suit in Boston, which I thought was classic, because it was a New York Yankees pinstripe suit. And he starts cutting a promo and says that Obafemi has already had his WrestleMania moment because of what he did to Brock Lesnar the week prior, and it wouldn't be the same. And then the lights go out.
Dude, I was watching something on, I think it might have been TikTok, I was reading something. They were like, Oba's artist, the march, and they were like, his march down the ring. They're like, you watch, it's going to bleed over. When somebody makes a touchdown, they're going to do the Oba march. It's just going to bleed over into everything. He is so fucking over right now.
What up, Mr. Helios? So Oba comes down, and him and Brock get into a scuffle. Brock gets him on his shoulders, and then Oba slides off his shoulders like a cruiserweight would, and clotheslines Brock Lesnar over the top rope. Now, I want to talk about this clothesline, because Brock Lesnar did not hold on to the ropes as he went over. He did not tuck his head when he went over. He went full steam over to the floor, and I thought he was going to break his goddamn neck.
Like I said, Lesnar, but as far as him selling and making Oba look good going in this Mania, I have no complaints about it. He is really putting a shine on Oba.
I think what Brock is doing is Brock is really anointing Oba the next Brock Lesnar. Because Brock did get some shots in. Brock got him on the shoulders. I do have to say that with them being in Madison Square Garden tonight, if I was booking, this is what I would do.
Brock will get
I
over.
would show.
I think that they're letting Oba, and I'm sorry, I think they need to let Brock get a little bit of his shine back. I won't be mad at that, right? You know what I mean?
Well,
so
well,
if he outsmarts or gets one over on Oba tonight, I wouldn't be mad at it.
This is
Because you gotta have it.
This is how I book that. You have Oba walking through like the parking, the under backstage area thing with his bag and everything, and you have him just get railroaded by Brock Lesnar coming in, and you just have a brawl, almost like the Jacob and Drew brawl. But I would have it where he leaves Obafemi on the ground backstage because he completely goes chicken shit heel. I'm going to beat you down before you have any chance to even retaliate.
You know what would be even better? Oba's coming out to start the show, and the lights go out, and when they come back up, he's laid out on the fucking that ramp, and Brock has laid him out and beats his ass that way. And leaves him in.
I'm almost okay with that, except for the fact that I'm paying to watch these two guys beat the hell out of each other, and I want to see the beating.
Okay, well, I'm saying the lights go. The lights go out, and then
Yeah.
I'm not saying leave it in the dark. I'm saying the lights go out, and it's like his music starts, and then they stop the music, and you see Oba on the floor. Maybe Brock has a chair, and then once as the lights come up, and then he continues. You still get to see him beat his ass. You know what I mean?
Well, you can do something like that, or even like as the green lights start coming on and you start seeing Oba, you just see a chair come from behind, hit him in the back, and then he tosses him off the stage. Except at this point, I feel like Oba's Superman. He'd just get up from that.
Well, I do agree. He probably does need to.
And tonight's the perfect night because they're in MSG. Like they always do some special stuff. Having Paul Heyman then come out and be like, "I told you, I told you," like I could just yeah.
Right. So
Paul Heyman called him an overhyped ruler. I don't know if I like Brock Lesnar's FAF5 shirt, especially since Jacob Fatu had FATU on his, but it was like something and find out. It was definitely meant to be a fuck around and find out. But
yeah,
I do like the fuck around F5. I do like that. But Usos versus the Vision is up next, and we get bad attitude Jey Uso causing the disqualification, led on by LA Knight coming down and getting the brass knucks away from Logan Paul. But Jey Uso didn't even care that he was looking or the referee was looking directly at him when he did it. And then he's like, "What do you mean I got disqualified?"
I want to touch more on that at the end of the show.
Yes.
Because I want to see if you noticed something that I noticed too at the end of the show.
Okay.
Just remind me.
Then we finally catch up to where you and I started watching the show.
We also have, because of that, I think that's why this week there's going to be the tag team titles on the line. In
a street fight.
Okay, so yeah. Well, we caught up. Yeah, that's what Becky was.
This is what Bleacher Report had to say about what we just watched. They said the segment did more to create intrigue in Jay and the next chapter of his story than to get fans to care about the 1,000th match featuring these two teams.
Mm-hmm. And I'm okay with that because, like I said, when we get to the end of the show, I want to see if you see what I'm saying.
I think I know what you're talking about. Ooh, I got a high-pitched squeal all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on. Becky Lynch promo. And just like that, we have a new match at WrestleMania.
So was it you that texted me about the why is AJ trying to look crazy? Somebody was texting about why is she looking crazy and why do we care or something. AJ's always been crazy, right? So that whole skipping in the ring and walking slow and smiling and and she's looking like she's not all there. That's AJ. That's part of her persona.
Yeah. So I think you're mixing up some of what I said was something that someone else might have said. Because I definitely said, why is she doing the whole head turn like the dog that doesn't understand all the
That
time?
might have been, yeah. And I think,
Speaking of crazy, did you see this character change in Leo Rush in AEW? Where he's running around the ring on all fours, jumping and then diving out.
When was this? I didn't see that.
I might have sent you either a TikTok or an Instagram about it. But getting back to Monday Night Raw, Javon Evans versus Grayson Waller. Last week, Grayson Waller was cursed by Danhausen. And this week he has a match against Javon Evans. And who wins the match, Tino?
Javon. And I'm still wondering if they're pushing him to join the New Day.
I'm beginning to wonder whether or not Xavier Woods is ever coming back as a wrestler.
Where is he? I meant to ask you. Is he
hurt again, man? Like, he's been hurt a lot recently. In fact, both members of the New Day have been hurt a lot recently. Like, Kofi's been getting hurt. Xavier's getting hurt. And I think that's why you take someone like Javon and you go, okay, he could be the third member of the New Day, kick Grayson Waller out. I could see that.
Younger, yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's not going to be like when Crush joined the Legion of Doom, but, you know.
Because in this match, you know, it seemed like Kofi was, while he was on Grayson Waller's corner,
he wasn't being a heel.
Yeah, and he wasn't being a heel, and it almost wasn't. Was he cheering for Grayson or was he cheering for Javon? You know what I mean? Because at the end, he said, "Man, you," and he wouldn't help Grayson cheat,
right?
And that's the New Day's all about lately is cheating, but he wouldn't help Grayson cheat. So he's like, I don't know if he's trying to teach Grayson a lesson, or is he like, nah, I don't want to deal with you no more. I want that guy.
First of all, I don't know why Grayson Waller's in the New Day to begin with.
I don't think he's technically in. I think he's trying to get in, and they had to let him.
I think that's what Kofi said this week too. I think he said, "You're not actually part of the New Day. You're just hanging with us."
Yeah.
Paul Heyman then calls out Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins gets arrested because Paul Heyman has a restraining order against him.
So fucking dumb.
And he told the crowd that it's because he's Jewish and that's how they handle things.
Like, he's going to hell. I knew something was up, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a man. I'm gonna fix you like a man. Like, you better get your fat ass kicked."
I wonder if Paul Heyman gets arrested this week on Raw because, you know, turnabout's fair play.
I can't wait to see it.
Although, if one Braun Breaker is ready to come back, tonight's the night to do it.
So you think we'll get a Braun Rollins match at Mania?
If those two can go, they will be on the card, 100%. Bayley and Lyra versus the Kabukis. Bayley and Lyra win.
The Kabuki Warriors. Smell like booty.
That's wrong. And then we get our main event of the night, the Intercontinental Championship match, Penta versus Dominic Mysterio. I find it really funny that suddenly, now that Penta has the championship, it's being defended every week. But when Dom had it, it was like, I think he got defended 3 times.
Because I think because Penta wants to be a fighting champion. I think they're trying to do the whole like they're doing on SmackDown with the US Open, US title, whatever.
Which we will definitely talk about tonight.
Oh yeah.
So
I thought that was stupid.
Well, we will get to it. Penta defeats Dominic Mysterio to retain the title. Basically because Balor came down and attacked all of the Judgment Day. Are we going to get Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor, the Demon, at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Kind of feels like it's leaning towards it, right?
Yeah. Because he's outnumbered, he's outmanned, and I think he needs that extra edge. I think we are going to get the Demon.
Because right now, on the outside looking in for WrestleMania, Io Sky is out. She's not on the card yet. I'm sure she will be, but she's not yet. Kabuki Warriors are not on the card yet. I'm assuming that somehow they'll get into that tag team title match because it looks like it's just going to be like every female tag team under the sun. Gunther is not on the card yet, and he's healthy. The Americanos are not on the card.
They're trying to build Gunther as the career killer, and they pushed him, but you're not going to put him on WrestleMania.
I mean, he hasn't been on
TV so hard. You were pushing him so hard, yeah. But now you don't have shit for him.
Well, and apparently it's because Rey Mysterio went down with injury, so that's why Gunther's not on the card. CM Punk and Roman Reigns under one roof, and Tino, I'm going to let you take it from here because you had something you wanted to say.
Well, yeah, and it's the end of this promo. So was it Roman came out and who came out first? Roman came out first, right? Was it Roman out first?
No, I think Punk came out first.
Punk came out first, and they started talking shit
about the
Jay.
things like there hasn't been a Samoan backstage that has stopped me or anything like that.
Yeah, and he was talking, and he said Jay's name in particular, and well, that was like motherfucking Candyman or Beetlejuice because you said his name, and all of a sudden you're souls.
Do you remember? So I think I sent you this week a reminder of like great Kevin Owens isms, and when he got mad at Imperium because they hadn't been mentioned and they can't come out, their music didn't, like, you're not allowed to just do that. No, he doesn't know the rules.
That was hilarious. So Jay comes out with Jimmy, and then they get into it and they're talking shit. Then Roman's music hits. Roman comes out and he gets in the ring. He's like, with all due respect, I need you to leave my ring, right? They get out of the ring. Roman gets out the ring, and all these, when he gets back in, Jey Uso, remember who you are. Remember who you are. Get him. And Roman did it? Are we seeing a new tribal chief?
No. And that's what everyone's been saying.
When have you seen Roman listen to he usually looking like, I know you're not telling me what to do. When have we seen Roman? Jay called the shots pretty much.
Well, yeah, but it looked to me, and maybe I'm wrong here, and you know what? I'd almost happily be wrong here. It looked to me like Jay was the little dog trying to antagonize the big dog. The little yip one that sits there and just tries to get the other one. Like in a Tom and Jerry cartoon where it's like, yeah, Spike, come on, Spike, go get that cat, Spike, go get him, go. That's what it felt like to me.
I don't know. Something feels different. Something feels off.
Well, it feels like Jay is snapped, but I think Roman was going to get back in the ring and do it anyway.
Yeah, but he was going to stop, and then Jay kept get him again, keep going. So he went and got him more. I don't know. It was odd. It was odd. Because it didn't, like, I didn't feel like it was, I'm calling the shots. I felt like it was something other than that. But everywhere I've turned and listened, they've all said, well, it sounds like Jay's calling the shot. No, it doesn't. Why would Jay be calling the shots now? Because he's there every week? No, because he still faces the Vision every week. Like he's still in the same feud he's been in since he got out of the feud with Gunther. No, but here's the thing though, and that's another thing that they got that tag team match tonight, that no disqualification match. Jimmy's got to go home on paternity leave. Jay's turning on him tonight.
I don't know if Jay's turning on him or if they're beating him down bad tonight.
Jay's going heel tonight. He's going.
Doesn't really make sense though, because right now Roman's the baby face in his feud.
I'm calling it. Jay's going heel tonight.
Okay.
All right. So
Bleacher Report gave that one an A for that segment.
Oh, he beat the fuck. But then at the end, Punk is on the floor. Now he's laughing. So
because they're getting in each other's heads.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on to NXT, which brought back a hometown boy, Johnny Gargano, this week.
That was so stupid. It was so funny, but so stupid.
So, all right. Oh, Bleacher Report didn't give me the card this time. Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed with JC Jane versus Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair.
The Ren CC.
Isn't it the Ren QCC?
Ren QC, that's right.
And Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair defeat Reed and Henley by submission, which, by the way, almost never happens in a tag team match.
Was that one a double submission?
Uh,
Didn't put on her finisher, her submission hold, and didn't and what's her name to stop the other one coming in, put her in a submission hold too. I think it was double tap out.
Let's see. It says while she was able to block the first attempt, she locked in the second, while Ren locked in her own submission on Henley. Yeah, Lainey Reed was the active wrestler, so she was the one that tapped out.
Yeah.
Vic Joseph said that this is the most competitive the women's division has ever been, which may be hyperbole given the incredible history of the brand's women over the years. I just love the fact that it keeps rolling over and reloading. Like, anytime they lose their talent, they immediately have something ready to go in its place. And Kendall Gray's the real deal.
Yes, sir.
So,
sure, she'll be NXT Women's Champion.
Sol Ruka and Zarya agreed to end this at Stand and Deliver.
Sol's turning heel. You hear the people turning on Sol?
It is funny.
Because they want Zarya. I think was it Jeter saying they want Zarya. Zarya is like another Rhea Ripley, right? So they want Zarya. So Ren, and I mean,
both Australian.
And Sol, they did kind of start pushing, and I noticed that if you start pushing somebody and like this is the person, you know, the universe is going to be like, no, fuck that. We want Zarya. Don't tell us what we want.
Well, I think that part of why they're turning on Sol is because she's got everything that you want in one of the WWE wrestlers, which means she's made for the main roster. Whereas Zarya will make the main roster at some point, but she's going to be in NXT longer. And this NXT event was at the Performance Center, so it has the regular crowd. So that crowd is probably booing Sol because they know that she's on her way out.
But no, too. I think there's more than that because
sure,
we've established that WWE has their look that they like. They like the blonde hair. They like the, you know what I'm saying? So the cookie cutter Barbie doll, and this is what
and Zarya is a mix between Beth Phoenix and Luna Vachon.
Exactly. She's different, right? We already have a Tiffany Stratton. We already have an Alexa Bliss. We have a Charlotte Flair. We have that blonde. You know,
we have a lot of that blonde.
Different, you know?
Yeah.
Like I said, Rhea Ripley's different. Shayna Baszler, different. You know what I'm saying? We want something different. We don't want that same thing.
Sure. And I agree with you. I agree with you completely. Just to tell you how strong this women's division is, they started with the tag team match. They then had a segment between those two. And the next match is Kalani Jordan versus Thea Hale.
Yes.
And I will say, like, I love Thea as a person. She's probably my least favorite of the wrestlers.
Why?
I just don't think she's getting it as much as some of these other women are.
Yeah.
She's got great spunk and attitude, but I got to see it in the ring, you know? Like, all the other women have it in the ring now. Like, Kalani was probably one that I was like, okay, she needs to pick it up, and she picked it up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Bleacher Report gave this match a C. But, you know, it was because Kalani wins, and Kalani needed the win. I agree with that. North American Championship #1 contender gauntlet eliminator match.
It's dumbest shit.
I don't even know all the... So, okay, Jackson Drake, Charlie Dempsey, Dion Lennox,
Shiloh Hill.
And
they were just going to have a mystery last dude.
A mystery last dude, which turns out to be Johnny Wrestling. But Johnny Wrestling is still in his trance.
Well, no, he wasn't. He managed to get him out. He went and stepped through the ropes, and dude kicked him in the head, and he just fell and laid on him.
He just immediately was in that same... And he finally gets up, and he's standing in the corner, and at the end of all this...
She pushes him down.
Candice LeRae pushes him down on top of who was it, Shiloh?
Yeah, who had already been knocked out.
Who'd been knocked out. And Johnny Gargano gets the 1, 2, 3 to become the North American Championship #1 contender.
But then all of a sudden, when the champion got in the ring, then Johnny spunked up and was in his face talking shit. You didn't do anything the whole match, dude. I was like,
I noticed on X that, or maybe it was Instagram, that after Johnny won this match, Danhausen posted a comment that said, "You owe Danhausen $20 American." Except they don't, because Candice LeRae already paid Danhausen $20 American that he ran off with.
So Bourne, what's the dude's name? Bourne.
Miles Bourne?
Miles Bourne, yeah. Unless they're gonna I hope they don't get that belt off of him already just to put it on Johnny just because.
I think it's done so that we get to actually see what Miles Bourne can do with one of the top technical wrestlers in the industry.
And I'm fine with that.
And if it's at Stand and Deliver, I mean, at least it gives Johnny something to do, because Johnny's not going to be on WrestleMania at this rate.
No.
Which, by the way, will be 2 years in a row, because if you remember correctly, DIY, I think, was in that tag team match the week after WrestleMania that Montez grabbed the leg and hit somebody with.
Yes.
NXT Tag Championships #1 contender tournament. The Culling versus Los Americanos. And Bravo and Rayo defeat Shawn Spears and Nico to advance to the finals.
Is OTM out?
I don't know.
I can't remember. All right, what did they give that one?
When Spears ripped at the mask of Bravo, Vic Joseph and Booker T argued over the legality of that move. Didn't Bravo and Rayo both put one of those pieces of whatever it is in their mask?
I think so.
Tony D'Angelo versus Ricky Saints with All Ego Ethan Page. And
All Ego slid the belt in the ring and went, oops.
No. It was Ricky Saints that did that, but he slid it all the way over past everything. And then he's like, and I'll tell you what. It looked terrible. Ricky Saints did not sell that at all.
No, he meant to slide it across the ring like that.
I know. But, Ethan at the last PLE sat there and was like, oh, I didn't know that I did that. And Ricky's just like,
no, because he's being sarcastic. Because Ricky went, because he was mocking what Ethan did to him. He was like,
I know. Are we going to get a 4-way dance at Stand and Deliver between these four?
Yes. Yes. Why
Okay. All right. Let's move on to AEW Dynamite.
And like I said, I don't even watch Collision anymore. And I'll like
Well,
look
Collision is where the Leo Rush thing happened.
Okay, that's probably what I watch. I watch Collision, and then I mean I watch Dynamite, then Saturday night, and like I'll start watching. I'm like I don't want to watch it.
Well, do yourself a favor. Try to find Leo Rush versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Okay.
And you know what? I just said his name wrong. Ciampa, because that's how he actually says his last name. So Tommaso Ciampa. Tekla versus Mina Shirakawa. Kenny Omega versus Swerve Strickland. Roosh versus Darby Allin. The Conglomeration versus the Dogs. Don't know why Roderick Strong is officially part of the Conglomeration. But we start the night off with a match that I don't think meant nearly as much as they tried to make it out to sound. Swerve Strickland versus Kenny Omega. Swerve sits there and says that he wants Kenny's power. He wants his EVP status. But Tino, Kenny got that pulled from him when he went out with diverticulitis because the Young Bucks, when they beat him down, said, "You're nothing. You're no longer an EVP. We're taking that away from you."
Didn't matter anyway.
It didn't, because who won the match?
Kenny Omega.
The best bout machine.
And probably a 15-star match, according to Meltzer.
You know, I wonder if Swerve gets the bonus points as well now. Because, let's be honest, the match was fun. It was good. It had everything you would want. But it opened the show. Why? I know that sometimes we like when matches like this open the show, but the way that they had it built up, it was a main event match.
Because Kenny had to come out later and get in Maxwell Jacob Friedman's face.
That's true. That's true. You are correct. But they could have just had Max come out at the end of Kenny's match and start talking about how he's the best ever and blah, blah, blah. And they could have gotten the same thing from it.
He is not an EVP, bitch. And
Well,
apparently Kenny won the #1 contender and his EVP status back.
Which makes me wonder, is Swerve just going to be gone for a little bit? And I ask that, but I know that in AEW, if they don't have to be gone for a bit because of injury, they're there next week.
Swerve might have something, though. He might have a movie or something. We don't know.
Maybe. And I'd be down with it. The Bleacher Report gives the match an A-. It was a hell of a match. I don't think that I would give it 6 stars, but Dave Meltzer will.
You are not Meltzer.
I am not. So then we got the Death Riders versus Skyflight. But before we get this, Will Ospreay cuts a promo where he literally says, "I want you at Dynasty, motherfucker." By the way, this is like 8:30 at night, so it isn't even in the late hours of Dynamite.
Didn't they bleep it though?
They did, but like, come on, Will, you're on the early hours. And then Jon Moxley and Daniel Garcia and Marina Shafir take on Zeta Steel, Dante, and Darius Martin. Who won, Tino?
Who do you think won? Who do you fucking think won? Why do you ask this question? You know who damn Tony has a hard on for. Who do you think won?
Oh yeah, he certainly does. And he not only had the Death Riders win this match, but then Moxley cut a promo where he pretty much said, "Will Ospreay, you think that you're a bad man coming back from neck surgery. You think that you can say the word motherfucker on TV. You're on." So yeah.
He's gonna lose that title to Ospreay.
Yeah. Moxley accepted the challenge. Then we get Speedballs versus Rocky Romero.
Can't call them Speedballs no more, remember?
Well, he is so okay. Here's my problem with trying to call him Speedball now. Okay, I believe one of the commentators called him Mr. Ball this week. But
it's probably Taz.
Probably. But Rocky Romero, out of all of the wrestlers on the AEW roster, is probably the only person with a worse record than Mike Speedball Bailey.
And you know it's bad when you're already in the ring when Speedball comes down. You don't even get a ring entrance. So that's how I knew. Oh, Speedball's winning.
I will give the AEW crowd credit. They were chanting Speedball. Probably because they just wanted the match to be over.
Shut up. So what did we?
And is it just me, or is Speedball Mike Bailey the only person that sits there and gets really excited about being 1/3 of the trios champions when he's in a singles match?
I don't know, but he wanted Ospreay to win, so because he wanted to challenge for the championship. I'm like, Speedball, if you're gonna sit your mullet somewhere, you are not.
Dude, I'm telling you. So like the week that he was facing Kyle Fletcher and had that great 17-minute match or whatever that they had, why the fuck was he in that match? He hadn't won a match in 4 months.
Because they're getting ready to try to strap a rocket to Speedball.
So it's going to be a rocket ball.
They're going to strap a rocket to him.
So MJF celebrates. And MJF comes out and he's like, the devil's doing it again, blah, blah, blah. And then we get Kenny Omega comes out, like you had mentioned. And Kenny Omega says, people call me the god of wrestling. People call me, and he goes, I've never called myself. You just called yourself the god of wrestling. Literally, in like the last 3 sentences, you called yourself that, and then you claim I've never called myself that. Shut the fuck up.
No, he said they've called him that. He's never called him that. People have called him that. He wasn't calling himself that. He was just naming off names that people have called him.
I think so. I don't even think he said they called me that. I think he actually started out by going, best bout machine, god of wrestling, Dave Meltzer's ball licker, whatever.
Yeah, but he's okay. But I don't think I think he's just listing off nicknames that people have given him. I don't really think that he was saying, I am.
That he ever, when he was a heel, ever said it. I don't know. So I just.
Well, JBL did used to say, I am a wrestling god, so he could.
I am a wrestling god.
So, all right.
Yes. But he literally had just said it himself a second before that, and now he's saying I've never said that before. Which made me laugh because I was like, this is why Kenny Omega's never been called one of the best talkers in the business. And I really don't ever need to hear adieu again.
I mean, that's his catchphrase, dude. I mean,
the conglomeration versus the dogs.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that match either.
Well, isn't it funny that the dogs beat the conglomeration? Here you are talking about how, not you, but how, you know, the wrestling world says that Orange Cassidy is one of the most important people in AEW, and yet here they are losing this match, but they won the match at the pay-per-view.
It doesn't matter what people say. It's whoever Tony's flavor of the week is and who he wants to put over it. And right now it's the dogs from Japan. So that's who's going to go over.
Even though they didn't go over at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Against the same people.
Man, we know that it's not thinking correctly, son.
Tekla versus Mina Shirakawa for the Women's World Championship.
You're not in the booking room when they're booking this shit, man.
Could you imagine you open up the door and the powder just goes everywhere?
You know, like when they open up that car door with the Rascals and all the smoke came out everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mina Shirakawa versus Tekla for the Women's World Championship. Now, this is a week after Mina Shirakawa finally got a win against Marina Shafir. And she basically got fed to Tekla.
Did you think it was going to be any other way?
No.
Me neither.
Roosh versus Darby Allin.
Darby should have died a couple of times in this match.
Last week we talked about how in his match against Walter that he won that match, but when he was supposed to have that match, he got sent to the hospital because he had like a brain bleed.
We didn't even talk about the damn Javon Evans, but I think I texted you when he did that dive through and almost landed on his head and broke his neck. Forgot to mention that one, but yeah.
For some reason, the crowd was chanting "fuck Ice" in the middle of this match. I guess they thought they saw Brody King somewhere.
It don't matter. Hey.
That was your main event? Roosh versus Darby Allin?
Yeah, Darby Allin. All right, let's rock and roll.
Yeah, but that was the
So
main
that's-
event?
Yep.
SmackDown.
Smack it down.
Here's your card. Julia versus Tiffany Stratton. The Bella Twins versus Charlotte and Alexa.
You can look.
Jelly
but you
Roll
can't.
versus Kit Wilson. An update on Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, and Randy Orton looks for his next victim. Now, I want to point out, just from hearing that, if I said Julia versus Tiffany Stratton, who do you instantly think won that match?
Julia. That match sucked, by the way.
No. You would think Julia would win that match? I would think that Tiffany Stratton's going over.
Sorry, Tiffany. But that match was sloppy. I don't know
Yeah.
if it was communication. They were off the timing. I don't know what it was. That match was sloppy.
I bet it was one of those matches where all of a sudden they got told, like as they were getting ready to go to the ring, hey, your 12-minute match is now 4 minutes. What about the Bella Twins versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa? If I just instantly said that to you, who do you think wins?
Bella Twins.
What the fuck is wrong with you tonight? You know for a fact that if I were to sit there and say, pick who wins this match, you would have said Charlotte and Alexa.
Bitch, you can look, but you can't touch.
I am going to admit that every time the Bella Twins come out, they get a pop. Like, that crowd goes, ah! And then all of a sudden it's like, no more Mr. Nice Viper. Show starts with Randy Orton. Randy Orton has this problem with steel chairs. He looks at them funny. He doesn't want to sit in them. Yet he will, but he doesn't want to. You know? Like he picks it up multiple times, he turns it a little bit, then puts it back down, then finally, and he's like, my ass hurts when I sit in these.
He wants to make sure that it's not a gimmick chair. He sits in it and all the legs go forward and back. When the front
Now
goes
that
forward
he
and
is
back.
290 pounds, you would fret that he is going to sit right through one of these days. I know I have, and I'm not anywhere near that. Oh, you know, I didn't actually talk about that during the beginning of the show, but it's okay now. So Matt Cardona
With his broken arm.
wants a match, even though they're claiming he has a broken arm, but he doesn't have a cast on.
He's got a soft cast. But when he hit Randy with it and knocked him out of the ring, and then they were like, that soft cast isn't going to protect him from anything.
Well, he hit Randy with the microphone because it made the thud sound.
No, when they got the actual match.
In
When
the
he
match,
scored.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Not only did this segment not accomplish anything or give us any new information, but it ended in the middle of the confrontation. Even if it leads to more later in the show, it felt like too sudden a way to cut off the segment. Then we got the Bellas versus Charlotte and Alexa. And I just want to go ahead and point out, who ate the pin?
Wasn't Char?
No. Once again, Triple H's fucked up booking not only had the wrong team go over here, but in a sloppy as fuck match, Lash Legend hit Alexa Bliss, which knocked her cold. She falls into the middle of the ring, and one of the Bellas pins her. I don't even know which one.
Okay.
It's conspiracy, man.
Nick
Aldis
you want
tells
Charlotte to
Sami
take it?
Zayn, even though you've main evented WrestleMania before, Sammy, there's no room for you this year on the show. While he's telling Trick Williams, but hey, Trick Willie, you got a match.
Trick's over.
Sammy's not?
Again, they waited too long to pull the trigger with Sammy. I think they're learning their lesson with Trick, because even though he's a heel, when those fucking horns hit, whoop, that shit, that the crowd goes crazy. I think they're learning from Sammy and from LA Knight. They need to fucking jump on this.
Well, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, because I wasn't happy with the way.
Yeah.
I don't. They could have done that a whole lot differently.
So Nick Aldis pulls an Adam Pearce by basically telling Sami Zayn, like Adam Pearce told Finn Balor, there's no room in the Royal Rumble for you, but we've got room for La Parka and Mr. Iguana. There's no room for you at WrestleMania, and he says unless something changes. And Sammy, in a way too long moment, is sitting there
walking away. No, he started walking away.
And then he stopped, but then he's like, oh! And then he goes running back and just clocks Trick. Okay. They didn't announce who Trick Williams' opponent was at this point. What do you think they were going to announce if it wasn't going to be Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams at this moment?
It was always going to be Sami Zayn and Trick.
Well, I know. But so Sammy takes it into his own hands, which is what Nick basically told him he had to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Bellas used the heart attack as their finisher.
Yes, they did.
But didn't win with it.
Look, touched.
Rhea Ripley versus B Fab, because remember, Jade Cargill is here to make money, not friends. But last week she made 2 new friends.
Because they know that she can't do it by herself.
What did you think of the backstage segment between Jelly Roll, Damian Priest, R-Truth, and Rhea Ripley? Was it gag worthy?
When R-Truth kept calling him Dom, and then when Rhea came up, he said, "You better not let lips." I enjoyed it. He's showing through measurements he had on the construction coat. They're going to rebuild the clubhouse because the Jesuit Days back together. R-Truth makes me laugh, man. I know you don't.
I love R-Truth. Normally, this one was a cringeworthy moment. Like, because Jelly Roll even had to dip out because he was like, are you serious, man? Are you serious? And then he finally dipped out, and he's like, all right, Dom, you be good. I'd rather he's looking for Tom and Nick.
Man, I like to say. I agree with Michael Turner. I was going to say that, Michael Turner, and I'm glad you said that first.
I have an idea of who he is on the phone with. Dustin. Except Dustin's under contract. He's under contract with AEW.
Real? He hadn't been on TV.
Well, Bleacher Report gave the Rhea Ripley versus B-Fab match an F
Yeah, because it sucked ass.
It wasn't a good episode of SmackDown, if you ask me.
Anyway, what
Because
else?
next up, we got Kit Wilson, who was cursed, versus Jelly Roll.
All right, next.
Jelly Roll picks up his first win in a C- match, so it was better than a Rhea Ripley match. Carmelo Hayes versus. Bah, bah, bah. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't Trick Williams. It was.
I don't like it because okay, I understand that you're trying to get
Book
the
your
Mania. Trick we already know is walking out, but they should have made at least a triple threat. It's too obvious.
Well, I think you have 3 more shows, and that's going to be how they get there. There's no way that you leave Carmelo out of this match at this point. Like
he has done such a good job with that open challenge. He's carried that back. He's improved. He deserved to at least walk into Mania as a champion.
No, I agree. I am 100% behind your opinion on that. At the same time, I think that this was a terrible booking decision. I think having Sami Zayn come out and win this title, not just win it, but then win it in terrible fashion to set up the Mania match between Trick and Sami is horrible. And right now, you the way that you set it up, you're leaving Carmelo as the outside guy looking in, but he is owed a rematch. And at this point, I'd almost go ahead and say, all right, this is when you go, okay, let's make a 4-man and put Ilya Dragunov in there. Make it a 4-way dance because 3 of those 4 guys have been that champion. And they've all been vying for it. Although Ilya did get beat clean 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so he's out.
I didn't like the way that this one went down. I didn't like who came out on top. I didn't like that after everything Carmelo's been doing to keep this run going, I thought that this was a dirty way to handle it.
Yep.
Although it did feel like Vince booking. Good match. Trick got involved. Trick ends up punching Mello rather than Sami. Sami takes advantage, wins the match. They can barely walk. Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre. Jacob Fatu comes down to the ring, limping, wearing a brand new t-shirt. And basically all that comes out of this is that they stare at each other and Nick Aldis says, while I couldn't give Sami Zayn a match at WrestleMania, you guys who can barely walk right now, I'm going to give you guys a match at WrestleMania. He specifically said on Saturday the 18th. So this is a Saturday match.
And it's a non-sanctioned match.
Yes, non-sanctioned. So the referee is only there to count a pinfall or submission.
I guess that's equivalent to the AEW's Lights Out match.
Yes, although the non-sanctioned match has been used in WWE history before.
Oh yeah, but AEW calls it Lights Out.
Julia versus Tiffany Stratton. Unless you want to talk about that more.
This match was sloppy.
They gave her a C+. I was a little shocked to see that Julia ended up getting the pinfall victory here. Obviously, with a little help from Kiana James.
Well, yeah, because they're going to have a rematch, and Tiffany's going to get her win back. And when she gets the win back, she'll probably get the title. I expect they make it to WrestleMania.
I'll tell you what, if they're going to be that sloppy, Triple H might have to actually just nix that angle. What do you think? I'm not Tony Khan in this.
My nose actually itched.
I'm not Tony Khan in this.
My nose actually itched at that time. I don't think so because Triple H has a hard on for Tiffany Stratton. I think he'll run it back. and Tiffany will win that belt.
You don't think that they'll go like a 4-way or something like that to get more people involved in it?
Unless
right now they really haven't set up
the only
to
way
happen.
I'd see that happening, it would be Chelsea Green, and she's hurt.
Your main event of the night: Randy Orton versus Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona with the soft cast.
See, there you go with the Tony Khan.
Now they won't let Drew McIntyre or Jacob Fatu fight tonight, but Matt Cardona with a broken arm, he's okay to go.
Well, because if you remember, Orton said, "If you don't give me this fight, I can't be responsible for what happens.
I can't. Yeah.
So he's gonna fuck everybody up. So Aldis is like, just fuck it, give it to him.
Yeah, Aldis was like, "Man, Matt Cardona's expendable. We fired him once. We can do it again."
But you knew this match because Jelly Roll already said that Cody was on his way, so we knew Cody was coming. So this match is going. Randy fucking pretty much just played with Cardona, fucking him up, just playing with him, and he finally put him out of his misery. And then you see Cody pull up, and Randy's in the ring. He's kind of like psyching himself up the whole time Cody's walking in the ring, and that music hits. Cody gets not even halfway down the aisle. They stop him. He goes, "I just want to talk. I just want to talk. I just want to talk to him." So they're like, "All right, he's just going to talk to him." I'm like, how fucking dumb are you, Nick Aldis? He just put this man out of commission for 2 weeks, and you don't think he's going to try to go whoop his ass? I'm like, that right there. I'm like, that was dumb. That was dumb. Oh, he's going to just go talk to him. It'll be okay. Let him through.
You know what? It's the world champion, and it's the number one. That's totally fine. They never fight in the middle of the ring after one guy's been bloodied to a pulp.
Yeah, Cody doesn't do the whoa. He doesn't even stop to do that. He gets up on the ramp. He gets on the apron and he looks at the WrestleMania sign. Randy kind of looks back at the WrestleMania sign, and then Cody just fucking dives in the ring, and they fucking go at it. And then Aldis had the nerve to be surprised. Get down there! Get down there!
And who goes down to the ring? Fucking Jelly Roll.
Now, I thought it'd been because they wanted to turn Randy heel. It's not working. If they wanted to turn Cody heel, Cody should have hit Jelly Roll with the Crossroads, but he didn't. Randy hit Jelly Roll. Hold on though. Randy hit Jelly Roll that Crossroads, and the crowd said one more time.
You mean the RKO, but yes.
RKO. And he's like, one more time. I'm like, oh my God.
I was worried. I was actually worried that Jelly, the way that he took it, he bent his knees funny, so he didn't take it flush. I was worried he was going to like tear an ACL or something.
I don't know. They're going to make this a triple threat now. It's going to be Randy, Cody, and Jelly Roll.
And you know who's walking out with the championship? Jelly
Roll.
Jelly Roll. Oh my God. Folks, do not cut that up. Do not put that on anything. Tino, the opinions of Tino Gray are that of just Tino and not of the Potsy and Tino show. I finally got to hit you with that line.
Yep.
Hey, one last thing, and then we can get out of here. I wanted to talk about the WrestleMania card thus far, but we can do that next. Well, I'll do that next week because I'll be on by myself. But the Tom Brady Logan Paul bullshit. Have you been hearing about this? So apparently, when they were doing some sort of like NFL Fest or something, Tom Brady is now co-owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay.
Oh.
He's got a small percentage, but he's bought in, right? And both him and Logan Paul were part of a flag football game, and they started talking shit to each other. And they've been talking some serious shit to each other, to where Tom Brady is now saying things like, "Oh, it's really cute how these wrestlers think that they're athletes." And
Ooh.
I know we're talking about a 40-something-year-old man who's probably in the best shape of his life based on the, like, whatever genetic testing he's been doing or whatever it is that Tom Brady does. Because, I mean, guy gets younger rather than older. He's Benjamin Buttoning this bullshit. But I gotta say that, like, why wouldn't they just put, like, Gunther standing in front of Tom Brady and say, do you mind saying what you said about wrestlers again? And then he chops the fuck out of him. Which, by the way, as someone who never really cared for the Patriots, I'd be completely fine with Gunther's chop going straight through Tom Brady and splitting him in half. But you got to look it up, man. That's some serious shit going down. Where Tom Brady's talking about Tom and Logan thing is a lot of bullshit. Yes, thank you, Michael Turner. It really does seem to be, but too much jelly roll. Stop all this stuff.
He's not a jelly roll fan. I'm taking it.
So Michael, I have to say this. At this point, the WWE, who's 13% behind on their ticket sales from last year for WrestleMania, have to do everything they can that they can also do within people's existing time frames to get as much done to sell as many tickets for WrestleMania as they possibly can. Tino, am I right?
Yes.
So this is the first WrestleMania that I had that I really hadn't heard anything about. Like, okay, so last year when they were in Vegas, I don't think they sold out, but they still sold like 55,000 seats each.
I don't think they sold out this year either.
Oh no, they're way behind. They're at like 39,000 for night 1 and 41,000 for night 2. So where last year they crossed 100,000 people, right now they're at like 75, 80,000 for this year. And granted, we have 3 weeks to go. They could always announce Stone Cold Steve Austin's going to be there. They think that John Cena hosting the event is going to cause more people to be there. But the host doesn't do shit. And John Cena has said, I'm not going to wrestle again. So he's not going to be in the ring.
Do you think he'll not wrestle, but you
like attitude adjustment somebody?
Yeah.
I think
Stone Cold still hit him.
Cursed by Danhausen. I think he gets cursed by Danhausen. Like if I had been WWE thinking, how do I spruce up WrestleMania, I would have made Danhausen one of the hosts of WrestleMania. And I've already said that I think the best thing they could do with him, now that Robert Stone has been made full-time active GM of NXT, I would have him be the foil in the GM side. I would have him constantly
be full-time now.
Yes, it was officially announced. So, and I'm okay with that. He's been doing a bang-up job, I think. So, Tino, you got anything else?
That's all I got.
All right. Well, you won't be here next week. So the next time you're here, you're going to be here for our send-off show. The big one.
Is that the prediction show?
That's the big prediction. So again, unfortunately, expect a longer show because I'm gonna try to have some guests on that one, so that they can also give their predictions.
Well, it'll just be a prediction show. It's not. We won't.
We're not going to talk AEW. We're going to talk predictions for WrestleMania. Because I don't think we have time to do anything else, even in a 2-hour show. So, but why don't you go ahead and tell everybody how they can reach you?
You can reach me on the Insta, SE Tino. You can reach me on the TikTok, Tino All Great Music. You can check us out on the Facebook. We're Potsy and Tino Show. On Twitter, we're Potsy and Tino. We're here each and every week right here on the Pots and Pans Network. Please like, subscribe, thumbs up, buy our shit. And thank you to Adam's House Cats for the wrestling song, which you can still find on iTunes for 99 cents. 99.
Yeah. Me at Potchak on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. At Rob Potchak on Instagram, at Rob Potsy Potchak on everything else. YouTube here, where we would love for you to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, leave comments, and share with anybody who might actually be interested in what we had to say. From there, that is also at Rob Podcheck. So please, folks, like he said, buy our shit, and maybe it looks more like a peanut again. There you go. There you go. Do the weird one where you go like this, and it like suddenly just has like balloons go up behind you.
Balloons. I don't know what I did. It doesn't. It's random. I don't even know what the fuck it is.
All right. Good night, everybody. I'll see you next week. Good night.
Peace.
Ready? Ownership machines in Potsy and Tino.
For the Potsy and Tino show.
Thanks for watching.